Hello,
Uh,
shalom. How
Hello,
are you?
I'm great. I'm great. How about you?
Are you hacking? Can you hack?
Do you want me to hug you?
Hug. Yes, I want a hug.
No.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
meant
Why do you want me to hug you?
So there are
nice.
no bodies in the wall.
No, just kidding, just kidding.
No,
No,
it's
we
okay.
are, we
We
are
have orange under the table.
Oh, you
Hi.
have a ball. You have a ball.
Yeah, orange. Do you love orange?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yummy. Do you love Israel?
You know what? I'm from Bangladesh, but there are some interaction among our people. Actually, what is happening right there?
Well,
You know how the war started? In
Uh, Very little
okay.
knowledge about this, but if you tell me just in shortly.
so in 2023, on the 7th of October, um, a lot of tourists broke the border
Mm-hmm.
and got it into Israel and killed many people who were like in a music festival
And
on
they
the
came
holiday.
to people houses and like set them on fire or take them as a hostages
Mm-hmm.
or kill them, and that's how it started.
So
We didn't do
so
nothing.
they killed many people and then they took hostages, which some of them are still in Gaza. So
A year and a half.
in return, Israel attacked Gaza, trying to release the hostages, but still not all of them are freed.
Okay, but uh, can you tell me the war really started since 2023 October 7?
No, it was a lot of. We
When
had beef already a long time before.
Oh, but why do you say only October 7? But I want to know when actually started, why they really fight for.
So a long time ago, in 1948, you know how there were Jews and Arabs living in here.
Yeah, you
So
know.
they wanted to split the country
Hmm.
after the British mandate
Hmm.
ended. They wanted to split the country into an Arab country and a Jewish country, but the Arabs did not agree to this, and a war.
Why they didn't agree?
They
they
wanted
want
the
the place
whole
for their own,
land.
we agreed to make it
They
like
didn't.
half and half, and they just started.
They didn't want to split it.
Oh, but look what I know actually from this point. But the UN really gave 55% land to the Jewish state to establish, and another rest of land really gave to the Palestine to establish their own territory. But in this situation, the Arab country didn't really agree with this. On that moment, Israel was only 10% Jews, okay? But another,
It
do you,
was Jewish was 10% of the population, but we had a lot of kibbutzim and
We had a lot
uh,
of places
that
in
we lived in.
we lived in all of the place, so it was
בכוונה,
like all over the
בכוונה
country.
פיזרנו את המקומות כדי...
Like
Yes.
oh,
there were already many like small towns that Jewish people lived in all around the country. So
this 10% Jewish people just used to live all across the country? This 10%.
yes, they were like
Right,
spread
right,
around
okay.
in many places.
Okay, got you. But how was the percentage of the Arabian countries' population?
You saying that Israeli in the when it happened should get 10% and the Arabic should get a איך אומרים 90?
90.
90%.
I didn't mean that. If Israeli was the 10% population on that moment when Israel really got 55% land to really establish as a Jewish state. But on that moment, how was the percentage of the Palestinian population? I mean, the Arabian countries' population, like probably 87%. I know that probably.
I'm not sure where they exactly.
The era of Ottoman Empire, if Jewish people was 10% and Muslim was the 87%, so is this a justification that UN will give the Arabian countries land to establish a Jewish country?
I mean, it
55% land.
wasn't at the time. There are still many people. Ma? Okay. There are still many people coming.
Mhm.
Like the population, the Jewish population was growing drastically
Oh,
because
okay.
what happened.
I understand you. Now I understand you. Israeli people started to come into this land to establish a country as a Jewish.
There was like a thing called aliyah. It means when people go to Israel from, like how the people who lived in like North Africa or in the Middle East didn't have much peace living in those countries. Like they were hunted, so they moved to Israel.
So, do you know the Theodor Herzl?
No.
THE,
Yes, we know, of course.
who was the founder of the World Zionist Organization. He wrote a book. He really mentioned this. He wanted to make a Jewish state in Palestinian land.
שהוא רוצה ליצור מדינה יהודית במדינה פלסטינית.
Okay, because the British called this land Palestine, so it was Palestine land in Merchaot.
Like
it wasn't
the land
really
didn't belong to the Palestinians. It was under British mandate, and they didn't just barge in there and founded it. They asked for permission from the owners of this land, which are the British people, or after the UN.
Mhm.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Like he's saying that Jewish people who lived before
Okay.
1940.
Before I know, do you know about this Arthur Balfour?
Balfour?
Arthur James Balfour.
You mean like in 1917?
1917, yes, 1917.
Yes.
This British Foreign Secretary and a Jewish religion leader whose name is Baron Rothschild. Baron Rothschild.
Yes.
Okay. Then they started to really make a Jewish state in the Palestinian land. Right?
Yeah.
British leader wrote a letter to the Jewish leader. And in this letter, he's interested to really help to create the Jewish state in the Palestinian land. And then when the Jewish people really got this news, they started to come into this land to make more population in this land so that they can really easily can demand to the UN that, yeah, we are really living right here and we want to be freedom, we want to be established. So help us to be independent, right?
Yeah.
On that moment, UN really hold a general meeting and then UN really decided to give 55% land to the Israeli and another rest of land to the Palestinian. So that's why the Palestinian didn't agree with this UN proposal. Because 55% land was given to the Israeli, that was injustice. On that moment, Israeli, I mean the Jewish people was only 10%, and another percentage was Christian and Muslim. So that's the problem. Why they started the war and why they fight for.
Target.
Okay.
You. Bye bye.